Give a listening ear to a child today. It may shape his or her life for the future. Children should be both seen and heard. We must all be responsible for the care and protection of even those children that are not our own. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child. Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson. On the pages today, immunization, protecting the population against diseases. Plus, what role do we all need to play to safeguard our children from crime and violence? We'll explore that and how citizens can work together for that cause. Later, road safety rules to save lives. Sit back and relax with those and more as we turn the pages of the magazine.
Parents, make sure the children get immunized. Hear this! Immunization, it is a must. This is not a joke thing, this you can trust. It is required by law for entry to nursery, to daycare and to schools. Listen up, it is necessary to prevent diseases such as the measles, the poliomyelitis, the lockjaw and the whooping cough. Immunize your kids, keep them healthy, keep them strong. Prevent deadly diseases such as mumps, rubella and diphtheria. Immunize your child today. Immunization, a key to good health.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
A disease-free childhood, a healthy future. That's what the Ministry of Health is safeguarding and ensuring for the population through its program of immunization against vaccine-preventable diseases. This has gathered momentum in recent weeks. Let's find out more in this feature.
We need love and protection. I feel your mission.
While Jamaica continues to make strides in child care and protection, the government has sounded the clarion call for greater partnership among all of us. Every Jamaican needs to play a more integral role in ensuring children are safe and protected from ill treatment or any form of harm. Let's find out more in this feature.
Listen to the voices, crying to be free. Can we be the promise that we promise to be? Love and understanding are better than a war. People just laughing cause they've heard it before.
We, the adults, are supposed to blame because to how we grow our kids. It's not like first time when me get eye and your one and you. So everybody busy with them own individual. So the whole system break down. That's why we have so much child abuse. You understand me?
We can see what this nation has turned to when it comes to kids. You have pedophile out there. You have all kind of different offender out there. And molesting the kids them. I'm a father with many and also grandchildren. And to be honest, I would want nothing to happen to my kids or grandchildren. So we cannot just leave it on teachers at school. It all starts from the home.
The media tell the story of the grim reality affecting many of our nation's children. Children who are facing trauma of all kinds as the attacks by criminals and abusers get more intolerable.
I know you're shocked, and indeed the whole of Jamaica is shocked at what has taken place. I'm sorry that it has happened.
The Ministry of Education after yet another tear-jerking tragedy. A call has been sounded from our nation's leaders and the general public for us to take greater care and protection of Jamaica's children. After all, it takes a village to raise a child.
It is sad for every time you hear a child murdered. And it's happening one too many every time. And I want to make a special appeal to mothers, fathers, and communities. Our children are our future. Had I been murdered, Jamaica would not have had today the first female prime minister. The other leaders were murdered. Jamaica would not have benefited from them.
As the Prime Minister makes it clear, our future development and success rests in the young ones of today. So it is up to us to make the difference. It is up to us to speak out against societal ills, particularly among our youngest and most vulnerable.
We can start by being more vigilant. Being vigilant in educating our children of the do's and don'ts of talking with strangers, assuring them that even persons who are very close to them in terms of family members, neighbors, everybody, can be a danger. So we have to teach them to protect themselves, to be aware of all the signs that can endanger their lives.
And even as the community is encouraged to play a role, the government, through its various initiatives and programs, is ensuring that all avenues are utilized to safeguard our children. The Office of the Children's Registry, one of the agencies responsible for this, is committed to the cause and continues to be vigilant.
We all have a role to play in safeguarding our future. Therefore, I encourage all adults to become positive role models to our children. You are called upon to set the right examples by dealing with the challenges in a rational and caring way. You are also responsible for the overall well-being while giving care to our children. Therefore, you must become aware and remain alert in identifying and dealing with the signs such as child abuse, all the various forms including neglect, child labor, child trafficking, physical abuse, sexual abuse. And so I do encourage you, go to our website at www.ocr.gov.jm. Learn more about the roles of the OCR, how you can become a partner. Let's care and protect, not harm and neglect our children.
And I want to make a special appeal to parents, mothers and fathers. Keep your children close to you. We have a responsibility as a nation to stand up for the protection of our children.
Measles, mumps and rubella are potentially dangerous childhood diseases. Parents, ensure your children get the MMR vaccine to protect them. The first shot should be given when children are between 12 and 15 months old, and another before they start school. Women of childbearing age should also ensure they get the MMR vaccine, as they could transmit dangerous conditions to their children if infected while pregnant. To know more, visit your nearest clinic or health center or contact the Ministry of Health.
Hundreds of lives are lost each year due to road crashes, but this doesn't have to be the case if we just extend courtesy to other road users, whether we walk, ride or drive. We need to obey the rules of the road at all times. More on how you can stay safe and help save lives in this next feature.
Seems like it was yesterday when I saw your face. You told me how proud you were, but I walked away.
Many Jamaicans say they would never commit suicide, but some of us are attempting to do just that each day, and we don't even know it.
I would hold you in my arms, I would take the pain away.
We avoid the warning sounds in our vehicles, break the road rules, and ignore the many road safety appeals.
Last year alone, 330 persons died as a result of traffic crashes. Since 2001, 4,791 precious Jamaicans have been needlessly killed.
According to statistics from the Road Safety Unit in the Ministry of Transport Works and Housing, excessive speeding is one of the major causes of road fatalities in Jamaica.
There are three basic speed limits in this country. in built-up area 50 kilometers, but with a proviso that in school zones there has to be a reduction in that speed. On the highways or the major roads, it is 80 kilometers, and on the highway, specifically the east-west, Highway 2000, not the north-south link, the east-west, it is 110 kilometers per hour.
Every time a driver exceeds the required speed limit, they increase their risk of being involved in a car crash.
In every crash, there are 3 collisions that we are going to experience. First collision is a vehicle collision.
Vehicle collisions cause the exterior of the vehicle to be crushed. Fortunately, most modern cars are designed with crumple zones to absorb some of the energy in a collision so as to reduce the maximum force felt by the occupant. Human collision happens when persons continue to move toward the point of impact until the moving vehicle comes to a stop. An unrestrained occupant will hit the inside of the vehicle, such as the window or windshield. A restrained occupant, however, suffers less impact if they were using safety devices like a seatbelt.
The final collision, which is the one that will determine whether or not you survive. And it is the one that creates the serious injuries. The internal organs collision. Any speed the vehicle is going, that's the speed your eyes, your nose, your ears, your kidney, your liver, your spleen, your pancreas, your lungs, your rib cage, your intestines. That's the speed everybody traveling, your brain also.
So how can road users reduce such gruesome road fatalities? I'm sure you hear it all the time.
Slow down. Slow down for your own life. Slow down for the lives of your passengers. Slow down for the lives of other road users. Just slow down.
Lowering your speed isn't the only thing to do to be road smart. You should also install and wear your safety devices.
Newton's laws of motion are for real. They are not a respecter of persons. The body at rest will stay at rest. A body in motion will stay in motion unless there is some unbalanced force that comes to redirect you. It's the collision that causes that redirection. When a collision occurs, everybody moves in that direction where the force is coming. So the force is coming from the handle, coming forward, that's where everybody is going to move. The seatbelt now is made to restrain you, keep you in the seat. Every child should be in a child's seat. Once they have outgrown that, it depends on the weight and the size of the child, right? So they should be in a child's seat. So kids, newborn kids up to about 2 years old, they should be in a child's seat. If they are so big, they're getting so big, you might need to take them out and put them in a booster seat to get them a bit higher so that they can fit in the seat belt. Another critical road user that has been problematic for us is the motorcyclists. 65 died last year. 65 males. These crashes could have been prevented. These deaths could have been reduced had they decided to wear their helmet. Helmet must be worn at all times, and also the proper helmet, not the chimney helmet, right? One with the internal padding there to absorb the energy when the helmet hit the asphalt.
While we carry out our individual efforts to be safer on the road, know that the government is also playing its part in making our roadways safer for all.
The ministry is working with the National Road Safety Council and the Road Traffic Unit. We have been doing a lot of initiatives. The major one is the public education program. We have also been working with other stakeholders such as the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and we have been requesting as a result of their membership in the National Road Safety Council for them to have increased presence.
For more information, call the Road Safety Unit. Remember, road safety begins with you.
I would hold you in my arms.
Driver, slow down and stop the reckless overtaking, no?
You never hear so time is money.
Easy, driver. Well, no mean must man and taxi driver drive so bad.
Why him have to drive so hard? Me not gonna make you kill off me and me picnic them.
One stop driver. Make her come off this bus. Me say stop.
Me coming with you. The rest will not take chance when in the life. Lord of mercy! That could have been
And look how we want the money.
Passengers, your safety is in your hands. Say one-stop driver and get off if the driver is speeding, overtaking recklessly, and not obeying the rules of the road. Don't give away your life. It is too precious.
Our top stories making this week's news are next.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. The authorities this week reported vast improvement at the Riverton City disposal site, where they have been fighting to contain a fire since Wednesday, March 11.
Obviously, the smoke cover will continue to be with us for a while after the extinction of the fire. That is usually the case. But as I said, we have made steady progress, significant progress.
Persons were urged to take the necessary precautions to safeguard good health and safety. On Thursday, ODPEM reported that all health centers in Kingston, St. Andrew and St. Catherine continue to provide extended services to residents in and around the affected communities. School administrations and businesses were still being advised to exercise discretion. Meanwhile, the board of the National Solid Waste Management Authority apologized to the nation for the inconvenience and said its teams and their firefighting partners were working round the clock to fully extinguish the fire and clear the smoke nuisance. In a statement released Wednesday, the NSWMA board said new plans to improve the management of Riverton and other disposal sites would be communicated as soon as they were finalized. It was also announced that the authority would soon be advertising for a new executive director as Jennifer Edwards' contract expires on March 26. Deputy Chairman of the board, Maureen Seymour, will oversee the day-to-day operations of the Solid Waste Agency and its regional offices until a new executive director is appointed. On Thursday, it was announced that the Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry had placed an immediate restriction on the importation of poultry and poultry products from North America. The ministry said these measures were to safeguard the country's poultry and public health in the wake of reported outbreaks of the avian influenza, more commonly known as bird flu, in Asia, Africa, Europe, and North America. Restricted products include but are not limited to live birds and hatching eggs, egg yolks and egg whites, raw poultry meat, raw pet foods containing poultry, and feathers or offal are also restricted. Local farmers were meanwhile warned to avoid having their poultry come in contact with wild birds, including pigeons, by securing their poultry houses. Portfolio Minister Derek Kelly assured that there was no immediate food safety risk and said the consumption of properly cooked poultry meat and poultry products remains safe. The protection of farm crops and livestock has been strengthened now that the police have set up a predial larceny prevention unit. It's operating out of the Agriculture Ministry and is headed by Deputy Superintendent of Police Kevin Francis and Sergeant Damien Harry.
The significance of these appointments is that being active members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, these men will have access and will be able to mobilize members of the entire force across Jamaica to deal with predial larceny issues.
The Agriculture Minister said the team was being supported by a coordinator and an administrative assistant, and they would be recruiting additional staff. The Lasco Group of Companies has donated $4 million to buy a Toyota Hilux pickup for the predial larceny prevention unit. More Jamaicans will soon be able to receive training in the small business sector following the receipt of a $12 million grant from the Japanese embassy. It's to implement work under the Grassroots Human Security Project being administered by the government of Japan.
Under this project, I understand, there will be a fully equipped business training facility for entrepreneurs and small business persons to access business support and training through an interactive e-learning multimedia training platform to deliver face-to-face and online self-paced training modules in communities across the island.
Reset Caribbean Foundation will carry out the training exercises. And finally, Jamaica is about to be recognized for achieving a major milestone in healthcare.
Jamaica will soon be declared as having eliminated mother-to-child transmission of HIV and congenital syphilis.
The National Family Planning Board's executive director made that revelation at a recent Health for All forum where she was speaking on behalf of the health minister. She pointed to other significant gains in the national HIV/STI program, including widespread delivery of antiretroviral treatment, which she said was driving reduction in pediatric HIV cases and deaths. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
This is where we close Jamaica Magazine for today. Be sure to join us when we return tomorrow for another interesting edition. We want you to keep the link. In the meantime, hit us up on Twitter at JIS News and visit us on our website, jis.gov.jm, for the very latest government information. You can also send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of all of us here at the JIS, have yourselves a great afternoon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.